Okay, yeah, record
Yes,
so that you can actually, everybody can hear the same thing.
So I just want to say
So, hello,
welcome because
everybody.
I'm just recording. Welcome to all the women who are interested in the next book. I'm Sabina Matharu, and I'm sort of the host of writing 4 different books. And I've now invited Nazreen, who's our copywriter. And of course, afterwards, I'm going to do a little presentation with regards to how it's going to work, why would you want to be involved, and also what the investment is, and everything else. So Nazreen's just going to kind of set the scene a little bit in terms of how I came to her and how we kind of developed the idea and what happened with the first book, Rise, whilst I go and grab a copy of the physical book so I can then show you because I'm super excited. All right, take it away.
Hello, everybody. The name is Nasreen.
Hello, Nasreen.
Hi, how are you doing?
Fine.
Welcome. And I see I have somebody else by the name of Ashleen online. Hello. Are you there? Okay, well, maybe she's listening in. How Rise actually came about is that, well, let me introduce myself first. Nasreen is the name, and for Rise, I was the copy editor and ghostwriter for the authors that actually participated in that book, the co-authors. I am actually an author of 2 of my own bestsellers, and a ghostwriter editor for other bestsellers, 3 of them to be precise. Sabine's Rise is one of them. Farooq Sensei's Ignition is the other, and Susie Al-Mushkab's Conversations with Dr. Love is the 3rd one. So a lot of experience in terms of copywriting, editing, ghostwriting, and I work very closely with the authors to ensure that the copy that comes through to me is really readable, understandable, exciting. It always has a different spin to it. We give it life. We give it shape and form, and we ensure that what the reader gets once the final book comes out is something that adds value to their lives. It is something that ensures that those that pick it up are actually inspired by it, motivated by it. It inspires action. It gives practical points, how-tos, what-tos, when-tos, and it ensures also, more importantly, for the co-authors, that one, what the audience sees and reads about them or from them actually opens up doors for them. Rise, I'm proud to say, has opened up doors not only for those of us that have worked on the book, the production team, but it has opened up doors for all of the authors, all of the 25 co-authors that have been included in the book in different ways. For Sabine herself, it's opened up a number of doors to business and events that she would like to be in and she would like to be included in. For myself, it's opened up the doors in terms of co-authoring, in terms of public speaking, in terms of editing and ghostwriting. And I know Parul, who is part of this team, is actually flying with the number of bestsellers that she's putting out. A number of the co-authors have used the book to open up doors into avenues that they have wanted to be in for a very long time, but didn't have the kind of background that Rise gave to them. Now, personally, from my point of view, what Sabine's books actually are giving to co-authors is what I would like to call a personal and a professional business card. Okay, it's a personal and a professional business card, because it is not just a piece of paper that gives you a name, your qualifications, a telephone number, and an email address. Not only does Sabine give you the opportunity to put those details down in your story, Sabine gives you the opportunity to tell the world why you are successful and why you should be working with that co-author, and why there is a world out there that is bigger than you think it is, and it has opportunities that are bigger than you. So that is the great thing about being included in Sabine's book. Now, when Rise came to me as an opportunity to edit and ghostwrite, I picked it up like I did any other project. But having worked with Sabine and seen her business credentials, the way she works, and the opportunities that she additionally opens up for you, whether you are just the editor or the ghostwriter or working on the production team, but the added value in terms of the extra training, in terms of other professionals that she will bring on board in Zoom calls, in online training, in the masterminds that she will run by herself and give it to you as a co-author on the book at no extra cost. Not only helped me, but the other 25 authors and the production team that were involved in the book also benefited that much more from working on the book. And that has helped us to develop, not only as authors and as the production team, but the other 25 authors have used the training that she provided before writing the book, during writing the book, and post writing the book, that help them to actually take this book and use it to market themselves and their businesses, so that it does open up doors for you. So it's not just a book in which you write your story and the world sees it, and for 2 weeks it's a hoo-ha, it reaches bestseller status level, and that's the end of it. You know, this is a constant and a consistent where she's giving back to you consistently all the time. So you can take this book and make it work for you in multiple ways over a period of time, to get it to open up new doors for you, people who want to work for you because you are included in this book. With Rise having come out and hit the streets, with Rise having come out and become a known name, it is now a given that any book that is produced by Reach for Greatness is not going to be anything short of fabulous. Okay, because that is the status at which it reached, not only from the time we launched, but still going strong right now. If Sabine can give you the sales figures, you will see what we're talking about. Very few bestsellers actually reach that status on Amazon. Okay, very few authors are even willing to put out the kind of investment that our other 25 co-authors put out to get these books printed and to sell it and market it as a profit for themselves. Okay, if the book weren't doing well, if the status was bad, if we had a high and then a slump, I don't think the other 25 authors would actually have put this kind of investment into buying the printed versions and selling it for themselves at their own events. And that means that they're having events, because if they weren't having those events, or if the book weren't opening up business opportunities for them, they would have no money to invest in it now, would they? So I guess what I'm trying to say to everybody is, this is more than a book. It's a professional business card, it's a personal business card, and it's going to open up doors and opportunities for you, guaranteed. And I hope that you will all hear me loud and clear when I say that I have worked with other authors, and I have worked with Sabine, and this is set apart from the rest. Okay, this is set apart from the rest because this is added value like you will never get at any other organization. I can put my head on the block and tell you that. Otherwise, I myself as a best-selling author would not give myself over to working with Sabine for a second time. And hopefully for the rest of the 3 other books that are on its way from Reach for Greatness. So I hope you all hear me loud and clear and say that I look forward to working with every one of you. I'm very excited. I'm gearing up for it. By the time we have the next info call, I will be there to support and give you ideas and ways in which you can actually bring forward your articles in Joy, give it a spin, and give it the kind of stuff that others want to read from you. We did it with Rise. We know we're going to do it again. Take it away, Sabine.
Thank you so much. That was well said. Very, very powerful words. I feel very emotional now. And
no, don't cry.
positive emotional. And you just reminded me of where we started. And because at the end of the day, it started off with a vision. And one morning I woke up and I had this idea of like, I need to write a book with 100 women. It was just there. It was probably like a mission, not just an idea, it was given to me. So because I really believe in collaboration, and I really want to create a platform for visibility for other entrepreneurial women, because I know quite often it can be really hard to, go the way yourself and try to do this yourself. I mean, I never really had the desire to write a book myself, but there are women out there that want to write a book. It's just, how do you start? But for me, it was like after 2 weeks or so after having this idea. And by the way, my husband said, you're crazy, because I told him over breakfast, I said, I just had this mission, this like given to me, write 100 women with 100 book. I can't find the words. Write a book with 100 women. And within 2 weeks, actually, Nazreen appeared in one of my networking groups. And I was like, this is really spooky, because she's working with other authors and she has this experience, and I don't even know what to do. I have a vision, and I have probably the gift of sort of project managing and bringing people together and sort of sharing that vision and making it work, right? So, and of course, we had a lot of things that we put together, things that worked and things that didn't work. And I think the second book's going to be much smoother. But at the end of the day, Nazreen appeared. Nazreen then introduced me to a wonderful publisher who knows her way around Amazon, Peru. So, it seemed like such a perfect kind of team forming. And within a month or so last year, so the idea I had was about August, and we launched in March. So it was like 7-8 months. It was really, really fast, considered what actually went into the book. I just want to show you the book itself. I mean, it is really wonderful. It's very picturesque. My husband is a graphic designer, so he's been working very hard on the book as well. And so he's very meticulous about high quality. So Rise was the idea. It's about reaching for the stars, right? It's about, and for me, I think I realized it was a journey for me as well. I have kind of reasoned through the book myself. And so the structure basically is, of course, you got the forward and stuff like this, and wonderful reviews. So we'll have people reviewing it. Then there's a table of contents, and then every author will have a 1,000-word story. Okay, and we'll talk a bit more about the next book. What this was basically about, sharing about trauma, about challenges that women actually faced in their life and how they turned it around. So it's not a sobbing story. It's about uplifting, empowering stories. And every author so has a page to start with, which in my case, I wrote my quote. So every author wrote their own quote. My quote was, when you release your magic, you light up the path for others. So everyone's got a picture, and it's going to be pretty much the same, not the same theme for the book Joy, but it's going to be a joyful theme, right? It's going to be a bit different. So then you'll have your chapter, Okay, so mine was called Reach Your Greatness, obviously, because my company is called Reach Your Greatness. And there's about 3 pages. So this is the beauty about not having to write all through a whole book. And then, you know, it's going to take you months and months to actually do that and to accomplish that. It's 1,000 words. And this is beautiful because we are like a team and we're working together. We can market together. We can really leverage the team when it comes to, you know, getting into a bestseller and support each other. And you should have seen the kind of Facebook posts that were going on just before and during the launch. It was just mad. It was the walls were full and supporting each other and love hearts, and you know, and everyone's kind of still friends. And we started to collaborate as well after, you know, after the book as well. So it's just wonderful. And then everyone's got their bio in. So after the story, so a full page picture and the bio with a website. So now, if you're a business and you want to get out there, you want to be visible, you will be seen. So this is also a tool for visibility. So yes, we want to share our story. We want to bring joy into the world. We want to make this impact. We want to create that legacy, but also we want to, you know, establish ourselves as an expert. And of course, because your link is in there, there is a whole page about your business in there. You know, what are the chances that, you know, people might actually contact you? So it's a little bit of a, yeah, I guess it's a business card, but it can be more, because if 25 of us are actually, you know, supporting the launches, and many different people that we don't know through that are actually buying the book, so the word gets out about your business, and this really increases your visibility. We also have an option, and that just happened a couple of weeks ago, so it took a bit of time to set up because we wanted to have another printer. So I am very keen sort of doing some talks with the corporate world as well, and I'm also doing some talks with entrepreneurial women going forward. So I actually need a batch of books that I can take with me and I can sell that at events. Now, don't be under the illusion the book sale is going to make you rich, because costs a bit of money to print. You're going to make maybe £5 out of a book. So that is not the purpose. The purpose is, as Nazreen said, it's a business card. It's about you establishing yourself as an expert. And believe me, people like Dell Technologies would have not asked me to come and do a lunchtime talk in front of 60 women in leadership, right? And I would have not gotten, I mean, this is just very new, last 3 months, I got multiple five-figure contracts in organizations where I would just, you know, in an organization where I would just dream of working. And the reason was because I actually had my book with me when they interviewed me. And they said, you got the X factor. So it was, I'm a bit emotional now, because it took a lot of courage to do it. And yes, it's not easy to, you know, keep everyone happy and keep everyone moving. But it's been a real great achievement, and it's been a very joyous project for me. So there's 3 more books, because we didn't do the 100. The 100 is still my vision, and that's why we're breaking it up into 25. So this book is going to be joy, and I'm thinking about subtitle. It's recipes for abundance, because I saw some other books in technology that actually talked about recipes and cookbook, and I thought, this is quite a interesting kind of twist. And then I kind of shared that with Parul and Nazreen, and they both said, yeah, this is super, like this is something very unique, especially in the sort of self-help sort of niche, to actually have a kind of a spin on a cookbook. And I'm just thinking, like, how amazing would it be, like, if we have like this image before the story, and then you write your own kind of little recipe, how you are bringing joy every single day to your life, right? But of course, we're going to have some more conversations around that, but that's just sort of a bit of an overview. We also support charities. That's very important to us. So if you have a charity that you would like support, we actually put those charities in the back of the book. And during the launch, we will, you know, have a lot of promotions. I'll run Facebook ads and share with all my list. And, you know, we'll have over 150 or almost 200 people actually signing up to our wait list before we even launched the book. So you can imagine all the technology, all you think of, that's all done by me. So I have a page, I have bonuses that I will create. I'll create all the banners for you as well. You know, everything's done for you. You only need to do is provide your picture, your recipe, and your story, and sort of do a bit of teamwork and sort of do some promotion as well. But the rest, like all the technical bits, the formatting, the design, everything's kind of handled. Whew, let's take a bit of a breather. I think I kind of covered it without the slides. I've got some slides. I have a presentation which is on the it's on the sales page of the book. Maybe I'll just share one thing, because I think pictures kind of, you know, say more than sort of me sort of talking. And I've just grabbed some few pictures very, very quickly in terms of what has happened to me. Let me just share it with you since the book launch, and it's been just 2-3 months. Just share that with you. Look how, and that's just a fraction of the women that you know, that have actually gotten the book. And I was invited to a couple of technology companies to do lunchtime talks. One of it was Dell Technologies, and at the back end of it, I actually ran a women in leadership workshop. And I'm doing this again because they've asked me now in Dell to actually hold a webinar and invite all of their different all of the different departments and locations as well. So we're going to actually do a webinar. So these are all kind of additional things, additional marketing that I'm doing on the back end of the book, which you know, weren't planned as such, but it still helps all the co-authors, because the more women that can get the book into their hand, the more visible everyone will be. I think that's the one. So what else can I share with you? I mean, I don't know if you know, some of you know what I do in terms of Reach for Greatness as a platform. It is literally for women, by women. I also support, as Nazreen already said, is business growth. And I believe that the book needs to be kind of integrated in whatever you're doing in a business. And there is kind of a preparation stage, and there's a sort of a launch stage, and there's a post-launch stage. So this time I have structured my packages the way that is kind of whatever suits you. You can take the basic package out. As you can imagine, this, I'm not really making any money here. It's just really covering all the cost. As we have, you know, people like Nazreen and Parul supporting, and designer, and doing all the promos. I'm doing PR as well. So all of these actually cost a lot of money. I've had some quotes through about how, you know, how much would it be to launch your own book, and people think it's really easy and quick and all the self-publishing. But you know what, if you want to do it with a really high standard and high quality with most amount of impact, then you got to actually have real experts in place. And that can actually cost you between £5,000 and £10,000, believe it or not. So I decided, well, why don't we just sort of split the cost? And this is how I kind of calculated the packages. So every author just sort of pays a fraction of that just to cover the cost. And so I'm just gonna scroll, and I mean, packages are on the page as well. Oh yeah, just want to show you before we do that, the kind of banners that we've produced for the book launch. We had some personalized banners as well, and here's the proof that we were a bestseller in, I think, about 20 categories in 5 different countries. So it's been pretty phenomenal. What's the essence of the books? I think we talked about that, and the why, and the visibility part, and of course the detail is on the sales page. So yeah, I mean, of course, if you've got questions, the package one, which is the basic, and some apologies, this is still from early March, early bird. I'm happy to kind of extend this. Of course, this is a basic of £497. which you know, of course, covers all the basics that we just talked about. But I'm very, very generous, and I'd love to just give you access to all my other training that will help you in your business. I've got a greatness club that has a lot of expert talks. I do sort of monthly masterminds and online speed networking events. So a lot of sort of funky things as well. We'll get the graphic and all the launch stuff done, of course. I also have a Reach for Greatness TV. So if you are up for it, we've actually run quite a number of launch shows, and I actually interviewed all the ladies. We've done a virtual launch where we all were together, and then we did some individual interviews as well. So it's additional sort of visibility for you as well. Of course, you will get a print of your own book. You know, how could I not give that to you? You can have affiliate commissions through Amazon if you wish to do that. Again, it's not a huge amount, you know, it's possible. You will also have an option to actually buy like a bulk, and I'll organize all of that. But it was a lot of organization, but I'm quite happy to do that. I've got a printer now who's really good, and it will actually be so half price of Amazon, and you can actually sell the books on at networking events or, you know, talks that you're doing. It's great. Just, you know, you can sign a copy, you can do your own little launches and so on. Yeah, also price books, I'd call that. Yeah, and then I mean the value is like, you know, really high. I'm gonna actually chuck in something else. I've got something else up my sleeve today, and I just talked about package 2. Now, package 2 is $997, and of course there are, you know, plans available. We can work out some payment plans if you know, because the launch is like, the publication is going to be early 2020, so we do have a bit of time. I really want this to be like a New Year's kind of like best New Year's book or something like this. So because it just published in March, obviously, you know, we got a bit of time, not going to publish straight away, and I think you'll actually need that time as well to write and get everything together. You get everything that you get for the sort of package 1, of course, and then you get some more actually here. You will get a press release, which is normally costs £300 to do. Avoid the press release, you'll actually get into 400 news sites. Basically, it's an online article that I will actually send, and will write that for you as well. You will be actually featured on something like NBC and Fox and stuff like this. So it's really, really valuable. You can then share that on social media, say, hey, I've been featured. This is amazing. You will also get a pre-book and a post-book, I'd say, coaching workshops. So really going into detail around what you need to do prior to the launch, during the launch, and after the launch with your business. Okay, so it will be like literally Zoom calls with me. I will literally coach you through the things. So I have some good idea already what I'm going to teach, but for those that are going to get a package in July, I've got like an extra bonus. And of course you get all the bonuses as well that we've discussed, the same thing, copies, affiliate commissions, all the Greatness Club lifetime, which normally you pay £50 a month. So, you know, total value of this package, what did I say? Yeah, it's about £2,000. Okay. So I am going to run a Fast Track Business Launcher bootcamp, like a summer camp, right? Because I noticed that a lot of women actually coming to me and they said, well, I want to create more leads. And I'm kind of thinking, yeah, the summer is kind of a good time, and it's also a bad time for people. Some women actually want to really boost their business, and especially when it comes to sort of going back sort of full time in September, you know, it's a great way to actually use some of the August time to fast track. So I'm actually running 4 60-minute fast track online workshops, and that's kind of valued at $297. There will be a fast tracking your brand. We're going to talk about the, you know, how you create a personal brand. And you know, sometimes even if you have a brand, it's good to actually go back to it, and I will be able to help you review that. And this is all great preparation anyway for your book, okay? And I will be able to actually help even more around how can you utilize the book even more in your business, because it's all about lead generation and creating more sales. Then I'm going to talk a bit about funnels and about technology. I'm very much sort of a bit of a geek in that sense, and I know a lot of women actually want to they want to automate their business a bit more, and they don't really know what tools to use, how to do it, and it's all a bit of a blur when it comes to technology and funnels and Facebook ads. So I'm actually going to unveil it a little bit and break it down and make it much more easy. So that's mission 2. What have I got? Mission 4 is on the next slide. 3, mission 3. It's about the whole list building. So through the book, you will be able, I'll actually encourage you to actually build a bit of a list, or like, let's say, a great audience. Where can you build those audiences up? How are you going to do this best? What are your sort of consistent sort of activities? And then mission 4, it's all about, if you want to do that, if you want to fast track webinars, if you want to create online presentations like this where you're actually turning people into customers, or if you wish to be a speaker, how can you take some of the stuff online, like what I'm doing with my lunchtime talks, because people are asking me to fly to different places, and I'm like, hang on, let's just do a webinar first, and the webinar is going to give me an opportunity to actually do a pitch on my other courses. So I want to teach you that. That is sort of the bonus if you decide to sort of sign up throughout July. I think we talked about what the results are from the project. I mean, I can only echo what Nazreen said in terms of all the authors have, some of them were featured in the bigger publications. They got new contracts. People got interviews. Other speaking engagements, definitely new customers, but you have to put the effort in as well. So I'm not going to lie and say it's just press of a button. You got to actually have that attitude, that positive mental attitude to actually work with it as well. Next steps, if you want to join, of course, I'm going to open up for some questions in a minute. It's literally, I'll send you the link. You can sign up. If you need some sort of payment plan, I might have to tweak what I showed you on the slide because that was a March thing, but the overall package will stay the same. You can just, message me. I'll actually send the link out. And this is sign up, and then you would actually come into our Facebook group. We've already got half of the books already filled, so we've already got amazing women in there. We're already sort of creating a bit of buzz and so getting to know each other. And we'll be then doing like a kickoff call where you got a bit of coaching from Nazreen in terms of what you want to write, how we're going to write the thing. And we'll also do a bit of a mock-up for a book cover, so you can actually early on say, hey, I'm involved. We'll do like a bit of a Facebook campaign prior as well. And then it will be pretty much writing the stuff, and we have pretty much a detailed list and a contract and all that welcome pack already set up for you. But it's pretty much a collaborative sort of way of working with the Facebook group. We have a messenger chat as well, and I'm not going away. You have direct access to me as well. So I think that's me done. Is my story worthy? Nazreen, maybe you can answer that. We had, of course, there's a bit of return on investment. I think kind of covered that in terms of your expert status and opening up doors and everything else. But of course, if you might think, well, what stories are you looking for? Is it worthy or not? So how do we decide that, Nazreen?
Well, guys, it's very simple. Okay, everybody has a story. Nobody's without a story. And I'm sure that if you sat down and if you thought about your life, your past, your present, what you'd like to do in your future, there's a little, I'm sorry, give me 1 minute. My husband has come in.
Good timing. Ladies, have you got any questions? You can open up, unmute yourself, just fire away.
All right, so I'm back.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so everybody has a story because everybody has a past. Everybody is living something at the moment, whether that's a high or whether that's a low. But everybody goes through highs and lows, and there's always a story in that. And what you want to do is you want to think about that. You want to you want to write down those points about your life where you might have had challenges. But you turned that around, didn't you? Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call today. Otherwise, you wouldn't be where you are today. It takes, everybody has a hero inside of them. And everybody used a certain recipe to turn things around, okay? To make things happen, to change from the negative to the positive, from the dark to the light. You added a splash of something there, and a teeny bit of a teaspoon of something there, and a little bit of a tablespoon of something there, to make a world that is pleasant for you, to make a world that is good for you, because it's your world. And what is good for you is exclusive to you, not to anybody else. But in the world, there are always a number of people like yourself who might be going through the same thing that you've been through, who needs that recipe to turn it around. And this is what you're going to do in Joy. You're going to give them that recipe, that splash, that teaspoon, that cup, that sprinkle of something that they can use to tweak or to do the same, to get the same result after reading your story. So you're the little hero in the kitchen here, and you're going to give them the recipe for turning it around, for bringing that sunshine out in their lives again. Now, when it comes to whether or not your story is worthy, it goes without saying that no matter what your story is, it is worthy. A number of you have bigger concerns. You've never written a story before, and you're sort of in this position, oh my God, how am I going to do this? Well, that's what we do. That's our speciality. That's my speciality, and that's my problem. My problem is to take what you give to me and give it a splash and a teaspoon and a cup and a sprinkle, and to turn your story into something that is reader worthy, that adds value, and that makes you the hero in other people's lives. That's what we specialize in. Now, Sabine will bail me out here when I say to you that you will not agree with everything that I put down on paper for you. In fact, there may be times you would want to take out a gun and kill me in my kitchen. But ladies, and Sabine will have to agree with me when I say this. We have had our books reviewed by bloggers after it was released. I'm happy to say, and I'm very happy about this. Sometimes for those things that I said in the stories that co-authors wanted to murder me for, those were the things that bloggers actually wrote about when they were reviewing the book. That excites me because that is my job. My job is to provide the juice. Okay, my job is to provide the juice. Do I know how to do it? Yes, I do. Because if bloggers pick it up and quote it, it means I've done my job and I've done it well and I know what I'm doing. Are you with the correct person to edit your book, to ghostwrite for you? Yes, you are. And we can do it. We can take anything, we can juice it up, we can cup it up, we can sprinkle it up, and we can turn it into something that is gorgeous. And that should answer your question. Anybody else not on the call, please listen loud and clear. This production team specializes in taking the ordinary and turning it into the extraordinary. And we have no doubt that Joy is going to win a bigger prize than Rise ever did.
Well said. How can I follow this? You're a natural. I mean, Nazreen is a poet. She even wrote a poem about Rise. So I'm going to expect a poem about Joy. Hint. Right. Thank you so much. Ladies, of course, you can unmute. We're here to answer any questions you might have now. And we're more covered.
Hi, Sabine, Nasri. Um, Sorry, I was there at the beginning. I just couldn't figure out how to show my face. Um, so yeah, sounds great. I actually have your book on Kindle, but I haven't read it yet, but I will, just through the challenge we did together. Um, what if the story that I would have fit more naturally with Rise than with Joy in the cooking? Does that?
Well, could I go, Sabine?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's so many overlaps, I think. But yeah, put your spin on it.
Okay. So I think you're in the driver's seat here, Ashley.
Yeah.
You get to decide if you want your story to be more of a Rise kind of story, and you want to go with Sabine and publish in in 2 other volumes that are coming up, or whether you want to take your Rise kind of story and turn it into a recipe for Joy, because that's where we come in. We take your Rise kind of story and we give it a spin. But you're in the driver's seat. You've got to decide now whether you want to put a positive spin on things and give it a splurge of joy, or whether you'd like to wait for another 2 of her publications that will definitely be hitting the market later on, and give it a Rise kind of spin. That decision we cannot make for you. But I can tell you this. I can tell you this. If you decide to go with the Joy kind of spin, I foresee the benefits for you personally and professionally.
Okay.
Because it forces you to look at your story from a different lens altogether.
Yeah.
And when you are able to look at your story from a different lens altogether, it changes what you are doing with your life right now.
Yeah.
Sometimes if we get too stuck in the Rise kind of scenario, okay, then we only think, well, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix and that's my success story.
Yeah.
When we put a Joy kind of spin on it, then we actually realize the hero within ourselves. And we realize the abilities and capabilities we have that we actually didn't tap into now, did we? To change the course of your life by going with Joy. Yeah. And that is why we are doing Joy. We could do another Rise, no problem.
Yeah.
But you know what they say, craziness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Well, at Reach for Greatness, we don't do that. We find other ways to do things. And Joy is just another way of putting a spin on women's lives who need to look at things differently to get to a different place.
Yeah. No, I think I'm very much a believer in the universe provides when it's the right time. And I'm very, very interested.
Brilliant. And
darling, we're waiting for it.
I'm always thinking about I have this project manager hat on, and I'm thinking, well, I guess if you put it off and you're waiting for a next opportunity, I know in my mind the next book's not going to be open for entrepreneurs. It's actually going to be for CEOs, that kind of people. And then it will be like another 2 years before the next one. And it won't be a Rise book anyway. So it's a question, do you want to take the leap now and kind of go with it and sort of push your business forward now? Or do you want 2 years just because?
Well, this is at the cusp of me. To be honest with you, if I'm being perfectly honest, Sabine, you probably knew my story a little bit. I'll not go into it, but starting my business now is actually where I'm finding my joy. So it's probably very timely. So
awesome. Yeah. Exactly. And I think it's perfect. Even the bonus that I'm offering the bonus for both packages. So
Yeah.
where you're not going to lose, you'll have your business coaching
Yeah.
as well as your book.
Good.
So yeah.
Thanks.
Guys that are on this call and guys that are not on this call. As part of my research, I have actually started opening up recipe books.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Why?
Mhm.
Because you need to start thinking in terms of recipes and what you're doing, and you need to align them.
Mhm.
So don't be afraid of the story falling flat, because we will bail me out when I tell you that it is our job to take that and give it a rise, so to speak. Don't be afraid of that.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know Barbara will have a comment or a question.
You know me too well, Sabina. Found that absolutely fascinating. My huge regret is that when I heard about you doing this so many months ago, and of course we go back a long way, don't we, Sabina, is that other things were in my way because I had a really nasty accident and it actually stopped me from doing a lot of things that I had penciled in to do. One of them being to contact you to see if I could get involved in Rise. So when that came and to me went, I was really, really disappointed in myself. Thought, oh, you should have contacted her, doesn't matter what happened. But I'm absolutely thrilled now to see that you are doing another book. And in fact, I feel that the title for it, Joy, actually fits my story probably as well as, if not better, than the Rise would have done. Because of where I am in life, I feel I can look back and be joyous about what my job was many years ago and how I've used those skills to actually do what I'm doing now. And, you know, I'd really sort of welcome both of your opinions on the worthiness of my story. And also, it's something that Graham has said to me all along, Sabina, why don't you write a book? And I've gone, oh gosh, no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't afford that. My book wouldn't be worthy, all of it. And I just do think that this would be the most wonderful way of actually dipping my toe in the water, having the support from all of you ladies. And I won't say giving me the confidence, because I do feel I'm quite a confident person, but actually seeing myself in a different light in many ways. And, you know, the world's my oyster. I'd love to be going back to my old role of presenting and influencing, doing all of that, but maybe on a different platform. And that's what I'd look forward to.
And I think the book will give you such a booster. And I mean, the book actually gave me the inspiration after the launch even. You know, you think, this is amazing that I had this idea about the book and then so many things had opened up. But even after the launch, I was contacted by HR and they said, can you come and do a book talk? And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. And then I was like, my head was spinning. I was like, what am I going to call it? I need a theme, you know, I need some slides. And I was like, yes, it's women in leadership. And then I went for it. So you never know what comes out of that. It's an amazing opportunity.
And that's how my life has been. You know, I never say no to anything. And this is what I'm saying. I'm cross with myself because of the accident. I had to say no. But I love saying yes and finding a way, you know, follow the Richard Branson ruling there, really. And I've found that every negative in my life has actually turned to a positive. So I really look forward to being part of this with you and obviously discuss it with you next week.
Brilliant. I'm very humbled, Barbara. Very humbled.
And all I can say is I'm so proud of you, Sabina.
Oh,
and that Prit. So
I'm going to give you a hug.
yes, I love a Prit hug.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is another thing. I have to say, the right women are coming together for the books. And it was the same with the previous one. I didn't have to do a lot of promotion. It was kind of word of mouth. Even this, I've not really done many calls. It was pretty much people approached me or they heard about it. And my authors have recommended quite a few ladies as well. So that's a good sign. That's a testimonial in its own that my authors were so happy. And that's all on the page as well. So those that are kind of watching the replay, you go back to the page. There's tons of testimonials if you need proof. But yeah, I think you feel the energy, isn't it? It's and again, the women that have signed up, again, we're already like a family because we're all in the same vibration, and you will actually formulate friends for life as well.
Yes, I'm sure.
Good.
Thanks ever so much.
So yeah, we're kind of coming top of the hour. So any last words? Anything else anyone wants to share before we close?
I just want to say thank you. It's been really interesting, both Nasreen and Sabine and Barbara, you as well. Thank you.
Super. Yeah, thank you all ever so much. Really look forward to being part of all of this.
And I look forward to having you and supporting you in your journeys. I will be sharing the link, of course, and if you've got any questions, just pop me a message. Bye.
Bye, everybody.